Actually, Spider had a question for me, and Spider won't talk unless we talk to him. So, Spider, ask what your question
Yeah,
is.
y'all been talking a lot about the outdoor living, all the different appliances and stuff, and one of the things you mentioned was an outdoor sink, and I was curious what the difference was between a sink that you're putting in outdoors and one just in the kitchen is.
Oh,
Okay.
that's a great question.
Yeah. Wanna start?
Well, an outdoor sink, I think that that would be a great thing to have next to a grill, but there's some challenges to overcome with it because typically you're going to have to be tied into a sewer. You can't just drain it out into the yard.
Correct.
You've got to have a water supply. Do you want hot water? Do you want cold water? What kind of sink? I mean, there's a lot to consider there. That would be a great thing to have.
So, one of the things that when you just say tie it into a sewer, that sounds simple enough.
Yeah.
Is that a simple thing?
No, no, there's nothing simple about it at all because that sewer connection might be, again, 100 feet away, 150 away. Now you're adding a grinding station and,
Oh,
you know,
why do you have to grind?
do you not? If you're going to have like garbage disposal in there, wouldn't you want something pushing that stuff to the sewer?
Well,
I guess it's different than a toilet.
so sewers pipe works on gravity.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, I don't think a lot of our homeowners may understand that. And so,
Are you saying the stuff rolls a certain direction?
usually,
Yeah. Okay.
so if your yard and your sink is under the foundation of your cabana, the chances of you being able to get it to the front sewer clean out are generally very, very low unless you have a hillside where your cabana is up several feet above, the finished floor of your house.
Sure.
So you have to have a grinding and a pump station.
Mm-hmm.
So you grind it and then pump it up the hill so you can get it out of there. So anytime you use the word warm water or hot water, you have to have a grinding
Right.
station. There's a few cities that will allow us to drain cold water out on the ground. So you wouldn't have to have it just go to drainage. So not onto into a sewer system, but
And I'm certain around the country, there's probably places that allow it as well.
sure.
But that would be a difference, I think, to your point about the way that the yard is. If you're on a slope and, some parts of the country, it's pretty flat. I
Right.
mean, it might be a little bit more doable, but when you're dealing with all these elevation changes, that's a big deal.
Well, and water itself just in where it freezes, how do you deal with that? So that's a challenge. So a lot of times you're going to want to do shut off valves so you can shut everything off in the winter so it's
Probably all
protected.
the time here now after 3 years ago.
Yeah,
I think everybody's a little bit more familiar with what can happen.
yeah, you're talking about the Great Texas Pool Massacre.
Yes. The 100,000 plus pools that were damaged or destroyed or had to have all the pool equipment
Yes.
replaced. That created quite the fiasco in the industry during COVID.
Yes, sir. So what I tell people all the time when they want to sink, I tell them it's a great idea. So what you have to decide is the value of this sink, which is probably going to cost you north of $10,000.
It's the number I had in my head.
So paper towels go a long ways.
Sure.
So that's where most of my clients, it's probably one of the most popular asked for outdoor living features that people ask for Spider. But in the end result, almost all of them delete that feature. The one place that it makes total sense is when they commit to an outside bathroom.
Oh, for sure. I was just thinking the same thing.
Then it's a no-brainer. Why wouldn't you do a sink? Because you've already got to have the water and the sewer there for everything else. A sink makes total sense.
Yeah, we did that for a project recently in Flower Mound, and that's exactly what my thought process was on it. Was exactly that.
Great thing to have, but paper towels work great too.
Well, and I found that, to your point about $10,000, it is a lot of work and it's got to be buried deep. So, it's one of those things to your point about you're weighing the cost of a particular feature with how bad you want it.